How can men be better allies in the fight for gender equality in music?
So I actually made a list.
Women only represent 13% of songwriters on the Billboard Hot 100.
Now, Sunnery and Ryan are asking the important question.
What will it take to bring equality to dance music?
I am Ioana. I am the head of communication of Untold Universe.
Suzanne spent the past decade at Spinning Records as the VP, and I recently made the move to Armada.
Is this still like a specific challenge that female artists are facing securing this high visibility bookings?
I wanted to use the word respect, but maybe that's not the right word. I think a lot of women are underestimated. I've said in a lot of meetings that I was literally the only woman at the table. And in the beginning, they thought I was either the receptionist or the
secretary.
intern or the secretary or something like that.
But
Honestly,
how does it
it's
feel?
weird.
Because in a room with only men, is it always like a feeling like you're looking at me differently?
When I just started out, I had a lot of...
What do you think is the single biggest barrier to more gender equality in the music industry?
We are trying with Never Sit. We made it the queen of festivals. And why? Because
Welcome to the Women in Music All Access podcast with me, Sunnery James.
And I'm Ryan Marciano.
And we have two amazing women in the music industry, Susanne and Joanne. And maybe you want to introduce yourself. Joanne, who are you? What are you doing?
yes, I am Joanna.
Joanna. Sorry.
Joanna. Okay.
I'm sorry.
And I am the head of communication of Untold Universe. You know Untold, one of the
Yes.
biggest music festivals in the world.
Yes.
And I'm so happy being here with you guys. And I'm in the Untold Universe since the beginning, 2015. Wow, 10 years next year.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, time flies. Wow.
Time flies,
Yeah.
and it was challenging, but so satisfying. So happy to see you guys because
Likewise. It's been a while, actually.
it's been a while. Yes, we have to repair that.
Yes, we're gonna.
Invite of the invite.
Exactly.
And we have Susanne.
Yes,
Suzanne, you have to say? Susanne?
Susanne.
Susanne, yes.
In Dutch, yeah.
You can teach yourself. I mean,
I can. Suzanne,
yeah.
I've been in the music industry for 16 years already. Spent the past decade at Spinning Records as the VP. And I recently made the move to Armada.
Oh.
Wow.
So now we're going to work together.
Boom.
This is like we opened woman in the scene. You're doing amazing jobs.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, they've been saying
Yes.
like, okay, we're missing women in there. How you feel about that?
I think there's still a long way to go when it comes to sort of key roles in the industry. I think it's getting better, for
Yes.
sure. I mean,
yes, it is.
we're
It
here.
is.
But there's still so much to gain.
So much work to do in this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in case, in terms of like, how did you get like interested in the industry? What drew you into the industry of dance music?
I was a journalist before this at the biggest television in Romania,
Yeah.
Pro TV. And I was listening to music since I was little. I was singing everywhere. I was dancing. I was like, and when this opportunity came, I was like, hell yes.
And how did the opportunity came?
They just invited me to join the communication team from the first year. And I was like, okay, I'm a journalist at the biggest television in Romania. I cannot go. You leave this television if you're fired or if you get old and you just have to let it go.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I cannot do this. I'm here since, 9 years already, and I just cannot leave. And they're just saying, please come. And why they invited me? Because I trusted so much their project, Untold.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody believed at the beginning, just so you know. It
Because
was like,
they weren't as big like now, right?
Exactly.
Can
Everybody
even
was
imagine.
skeptical. And I was like, what? What are you trying to do? A festival in Romania? Oh, forget it.
Include.
And we had, exactly. And also the artists were like, Romania, okay, it's not cool enough for us. We are not coming. It was like a little bit challenging at the beginning. So although I believed so much in their project from the beginning, I couldn't leave the television. So I helped them behind. Nobody knew.
Oh, really?
Nobody
So it's a secret
knew.
project.
Yes, it was a secret project for me. And I got so attached to it. So after the first edition, Untold got the best major festival at European Festival Awards from the first edition.
First edition already.
Exactly. No other festival got this award from the first edition. So they came again and they invited me, please join the festival team, please, because you believe so much in it. And I was like, okay, I'm coming.
Wow.
So
it's a big move.
it was a big move.
Did you really felt like it was a different industry than television?
Yes, I just telling Susanne in the hallway, when I was a journalist, I was always with my phone stick to my ear because, a journalist, it's like that. But
Nothing changed.
nothing changed.
In that case, everyone became a journalist almost.
Yes, and nothing changed. But here I have such a pleasure working. It's not working at all. It's like, it's just pleasure, and it's that adrenaline that goes into your body and you cannot escape it, And I think this happens when you truly believe in a project. You don't have weekends, you don't have holidays, you don't have anything,
Alive.
Beautiful.
And I think this is a recipe for success, if you ask me.
Amen to that. Nice. And you, what brought you into the dance industry, the music industry in your term?
I think my love for house music started when I was literally like 3 years old. My dad was like a massive house fan.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And we always like sat in the car for hours and we're listening to these old school tracks that my dad sort of grew up with. So there was no escaping for me to start doing something within the industry.
Oh, that's nice. So the music really led you into
Yes,
that.
my love for dance music. So I think that's quite similar, like
Nice.
feeling the passion and stuff. And then actually via quite traditional route, I would say, via an internship at Universal, I sort of made my way into the major label system. But my
It's
heart
quite
is...
an amazing story. 3 years old and know exactly where you want to go in life, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I always knew I wanted to be in this industry.
Very special.
Yeah, for sure.
And you said music. Well, it was one track. You thought like, okay, this is the track. What?
That's such a tough question, right?
Yes, it
I
is.
think I would say like the George Morel song.
Nice.
Yeah, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
yeah.
And that's actually the song that I walk down the aisle to my husband now.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
So I think that sort of,
Full
brings back
circle.
memories. Yes.
That's
Yes,
nice.
well, to be honest, before I joined the team, I was listening a lot of Tiny Tempa. And and he was at the first edition
I
of
know.
Untold, and I was like, oh shit.
That's what you recall.
Yes.
That he played that. Because
Yes.
I couldn't understand it.
And I was listening a lot Tiny Tempa with Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah.
Yes.
From Miami to Ibiza.
yeah.
And
Big
I
song.
think that song, it's still in my head even now. Yeah, I think that's the song.
So now we
You
should
know,
make a
it's
mix
like-
of George Morel's groove and Swedish House Mafia.
You have to.
Nothing is impossible.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people do those tracks, but you can't touch those,
Classics, huh?
You're right, you can't touch those. Yeah.
A question for you both. You all work with big artists on the festivals in your branch. Is it still like a specific challenge that female artists are facing securing this high visibility bookings? Like, we have Armin, we have David Guetta, you said Swedish House Mafia, or Charlotte Rouvet a little bit, but is there still, because I feel like Charlotte could close every festival in the world, but is it still like a sort of like misperception and like, oh, we don't know about that? Or
I think so. I think there are still a lot of stereotypes going on. And I feel like within certain sort of areas in dance music, especially techno and stuff, like the women are creeping up. But if you look at the EDM scene, for example, it's still like super, super tiny, right? And I think that has a lot to do with maybe I wanted to use the word respect, but maybe that's not the right word. I think a lot of women are underestimated still.
Exactly.
And that they're still not on the same level as a man can be in presence, in technical capabilities, maybe even. So that is something that we need to, get rid of.
we can go really deep in this right now.
We
but
can.
only
Yes,
20
we can.
minutes.
Yeah.
But I feel like we started with schooling our kids, and how you look at things. And if a girl wants to play with a hammer or something, and say, no, that's for boys,
Right?
That's where you already get like really like programmed. That's
It's so true.
That's a thing we should talk about next time.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think that's one of one of the biggest problems in areas like this, because DJ is very technical, so it's not for women, they say. But I feel like we're doing a good job lately
For sure. It's
growing,
getting better.
but we're not there yet.
No.
What do you think is the single biggest barrier to more gender equality in the music industry? What do you think?
Well, we are trying with Neversea to do a step towards this, as Suzanne already told us. For Neversea, for example, we made it the queen of festivals. And why? Because we try to have as many women artists as we can in the lineup. We already had from this year, every stage, in every day, had 2 women on the stage.
Yeah, very good.
And we try to rise this number of women in the lineup, because I think it's important just to give them a platform where they can express themselves, where they can, I don't know, not to be, I don't know how to say it, not to be ashamed to be there, not to be ashamed of what their creation, not to be afraid to express themselves. And we are trying to do that with Neversea, for example. So it was so well received, this concept of Queen of Festivals, because
This is also how you communicate it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
This is the tagline. Neversea Festival is the queen of festivals, because Untold is like the king, and every king has a queen. So that's why Neversea became the queen of festivals.
And there's no king without a queen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are just trying to give them the chance to express themselves and not to be, I don't know. And we also send some emails to some artists, and we ask them, do you try to do a beat back-to-back with this girl? She has good songs, good mix. And some artists said yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I think it's important for you also as an artist to just, I don't know, acknowledge it and support them.
Yeah.
So to go to dig deeper on this case, I want to look at you. I think you have like an opinion about it. How can men in the industry be better allies in the fight for gender equality in music?
So I actually made a list.
Oh, God.
And I kid you not. No, I think it's very much about sort of understanding what is actually the problem. I think a lot of guys don't really see what is going on, because within their minds, it's all good. They respect women, but there's still a large group of people, men, that don't. So educate yourself, listen. I think listen is one of the most important,
really important one,
words in this, I would say. But also like speak up, speak out, and be that sort of ambassador for women in the industry. Make a track.
Yeah,
create a
100%.
remix.
No,
we
I don't want to be like, oh, we're
No,
like,
I know you do,
or something, but we always been like pushing women on our stages when we host like festivals or whatever. You know, we always push some girl from somewhere, and
I can not that they speak out about it. Like if we try to do it, but it's also a lot of arguments why it's not happening. Sometimes back in the days, let's say like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's like normal that you're gonna book females in your lineups. But back in the days when we pushed for it, you had Carita La Nina.
Yeah.
Who else? I forgot her name. She doesn't play anymore. Anyways, and we all tried, and there was always a argument. No, there's not a right party for it. It's for some reason.
Which is weird, right? Because what is the right
if you
party
if you
for
think
a woman?
about it now, it's like the most crazy
Not like,
thing to
what
say.
are we talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. What's your advice to the next generation of women looking to break into the music business?
Self-confidence,
Yeah.
trust, ambition, and a lot of courage.
Nice.
Yeah, this is my advice. In Romania, because everybody knows about this problem in the music industry we have so a few women. Yeah, many men, but a few women. In Romania, there was a mentorship program for women in the music industry, and I was a mentor 2 years in a row. And both of the mentees are now in my communication team.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. Look at that.
Yes, because it's so hard to find the new generation now, because we all know the new generation. They are just hunger for something new always.
Yeah.
And I found these two girls, young girls, very young, 23 years, 24 years. They had the courage to come in the team and to learn. And they are very proactive and open to anything and everything. And they keep up because, they arrived in the team 2 months before the festival. So, it's that period where everything happens so fast. So I tried to explain them, but I didn't have the time to just sit on the couch and just explain, we have to do this and we have to do. They learn. So I think it's very important to have this mentorship program all over. I just said that I think I will just put it in the high schools because, I was in the when I was in the high school, I was just trying to be a lawyer, to be a journalist, to be that and that and that. And I didn't have the guidance. And I think those kind of programs, it would help a lot.
Very important.
Yeah.
But I think it's also very much about embracing your femininity.
Exactly.
It's not like you need to act like a man to get on top. You also have to embrace you being you.
You being you, exactly.
With your characteristics and maybe vulnerabilities. Guys have them as well, right?
And break the narrative a little bit and it was like this, but we go move and be confident about it. The courage you mentioned, I think that's one of the most
100%.
important things you have to have.
Yeah.
I had at the beginning the problem with the artist because some artist was looking at me and like, what does she want?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. She's like a human being. It's like, why? And I just put a step in and I was like, we are doing this. I'm sorry that you have a headache.
We can do that very well.
I'm sorry that you have a headache, but we are doing it.
That's how you should do it, I think.
So,
I love it.
There is a question, I think. Do you think female executive producers and artists need to push harder to be heard? And what role do women like you, who are already in leadership roles, play in paving the way for others?
Yes, I think they need to work harder because of all the reasons that we've just mentioned.
You also felt that yourself?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, especially in dance music, to be honest. I've said in a lot of meetings that I was literally the only woman at the table.
Wow.
And in the beginning, they thought I was either the receptionist or the
secretary.
intern or the secretary or something like that.
But how does it feel?
Weird.
Because you're in a room with only men.
Yeah.
And is this like a natural thing comes over now I have to fight? Or are you just sitting there in your own confidence and like, I'm doing this? And is it always like a feeling like, hey, they're looking at me differently?
At the beginning, yes. I think now in this day and age, I'm confident enough to sort of, I know what I can do and who I am, what I can contribute. But I think when I just started out, I had a lot of awkward moments. Yeah, mostly inward, but because I didn't want to show. Exactly. But I think I did have the tendency to act a little bit like that man, which wasn't necessary, but I felt like I needed to do that to be heard.
Yeah.
But now I don't have that anymore. But it really took me some time to get there for sure. Yeah.
And I think for men, it's a real, how you say it, like they should really start listening. And listening is easy to say, but understanding, I think, is the best word. Listening and understanding what it is that creates those, awkward moments, because that comes from something we learned, what I said before. And if you just open up and see each other as human beings, there's no, and with my background, I know, not that I'm saying I know what you feel, but sometimes when you come in and I'm colored, you come in a situation where everybody is white, you're like, oh shit, I'm not a black guy.
Yeah.
So in that case, I
No,
can,
but you
I
should
can tell,
be
like,
like,
yes.
Own it.
No, but and I can feel a little bit what you try to understand, and I think we're moving towards a better place for that. And keep pushing, keep screaming it, and promote.
Even if you don't feel you have to demonstrate it to yourself, because I already know that I can do it. You have to demonstrate in a full room of the men that you can do it.
But this is the most important.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, because then you have to prove yourself. I feel
Yeah.
like if you have the capability, you have everything, you don't even have to question it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing we should break here, that come on, you're not on that table for no reason.
Exactly.
You
You
know?
shouldn't have to prove anything.
Yeah.
You're there
Exactly.
for a reason. You're
Yeah.
there because
But
you're good at your job.
We have to
right?
change this.
And that's
Yeah.
responsibility of the man. That's what I'm trying to say. Do not look at it like, what is this woman doing here? Or like, you know, it's like there was for a long time the narrative in dance music.
Yeah.
I can say it loud and clear. Everybody will agree. Maybe not, but it is what it is.
That's also fine.
I mean, you guys are very busy women, so we can't do like the full 45 minutes, hour.
Suzanne is happy.
So what next for you, Ioana and
Yeah.
Susanne, and how do you plan to continue leading and shaping the future of the music industry?
Well, I decided a few months ago, few years ago, since I have seven women in my team, to give them trust and confidence to decide.
Nice.
I think it's very important to do that. And
Yeah.
each time they came to me for, I don't know, small things or something that wasn't so big, I just told them, you have to decide. You have my trust. I know you can do it. Just handle it on your own, because it's important to give this trust to the men, to the women, to the guys in your team.
Good save.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Goes hand in hand a little
I
bit.
think this is very important because they gain the trust and they will go high with it.
Yeah, I think for me it's pretty similar. Be that mentor, be the person that
Exactly.
people feel comfortable with as well, especially for the women within your teams. I think it's very important that you should be able to open up to them and also show your vulnerabilities and vice versa, because everybody has them, right? It's okay
Exactly.
to sort of be open about that. And maybe guide them a little bit. It sounds a bit silly, like I'm not like the big sort of guider or mentor, but I think all those little things sort of,
just do you. And
maybe you
Yeah.
do you. I like that.
Guide them and listening to them. It's very important also, because they have problems, they have emotions, they have just like...
Sounds like men.
Literally, right? Yeah.
I want to say something to all the men. Not in every case it's the same, but in the majority of the cases, I feel like if you doubt women, look at your mom, how she lead a family and how she did
Exactly.
things
The best
like
example
10 times
ever.
at the same time. And then maybe you can put that judgment away and look at women like, oh yeah.
Just ask the question, who bring you to the world? Mom. Okay.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
that.
Another mic drop here.
Exactly.
I think we can leave it here. You can, that's it. 20 minutes, you said.
Perfect.
Boom. Right?
Don't blame it on me.
Thank you. No. We said it together. I don't know
Thank
why.
you, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Thank
you
you.
for coming.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for inviting me.
It was our second podcast ever, so hopefully you liked it.
You did well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did
Thank
amazing.
You did well. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Yes.
Thank you.